I'm curious on your thoughts on the lineup potential because it's crazy what we got here. Um, this comes from the chat, the Discord, Will Viles, and he says his potential starting 11. Let's read it to you so we get a kind of framework of where we think. So he's thinking a goal. He thinks Mueller over Fairman. A back four of Bruner on the right, Matriciani, Kaminsky in the middle, Oyan on the left. A midfield five of Schallenberg's the deep playmaker with Seguin, Latza, Drexler on the right, Lasme on the left, and Tarota up top. Um, Not exactly how the lineup I would use, but it's
Yeah, I'd have to.
fairly
I'd have to. I have
close.
to like look at it again, like present it out or something. The goalkeeper I don't really have much of an opinion on yet. Like I said, I have to see more of
Yeah,
him before I feel I have a strong opinion over him or Fairman. Either one of them, like I said, I'm not particularly worried about this season.
yeah.
I think I'm probably fine with Bruner starting at right back. I thought he was. I mean, yeah, he got exposed at times, and yeah, he's not the most exciting player in the way that like a Tobias Moore and Oweyan is exciting on the opposite side going forward. But a guy who's going to grind it out, a guy who's a little bit more secure defensively. I'm fine on that front. Yeah, center backs. I mean, I forgot what he said for center backs already, but Cisse is an interesting player for sure. I like what I see. He had actually a very nice marauding run at one point.
He did, looking like
Which
Naldo.
was very like a Matip or something like that back in the
Yeah,
day. So
yeah,
that was fun to see. Um, I think there's a lot of conversation at the moment around like, oh, it's really just like Schalke's midfield just needs to gel, and then but like everything else is fine because there's a lot of like returning faces and like I
not
mean.
so much.
So here's the thing. I guess what I would say in terms of the lineup in general is like, okay, yeah, Toronto's only 2 seasons removed, or like one full season really removed from setting a record in the second division.
Yeah,
Are we getting that same Toronto back at this point in his career? I mean, he's not that far away. Like, do I expect him to be better than last season? Yeah, I expect him to
yeah,
probably double up his Bundesliga total and
yeah,
probably score at least 10 goals in the second division this season. I think he will
yeah.
find a way to do that. Is he scoring 30? Perhaps not. Is Poulter picking up the difference? And
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not super high on that. I think hopefully Lasme has some goal contributions and everything. But then you look at like the winger side of things. You have Keenan Karaman who like had some better performances down the stretch second half of the
Mm,
season, but like he's gonna need to be that player very consistently
yeah,
to like be solid and worthy of starting a lot in the second division. I feel like maybe now that we have Kozuki back and healthy, maybe he capitalized on that promise and is just such a spark plug that we can't keep him out of the lineup and he contributes. But like, I think there's a lot of question marks about our winger positions if we're still kind of playing more like traditional, 4-3-3 or like a 4-2-3-1.
yeah.
I'm not necessarily sold on that. And yeah, we have a lot of bodies in the midfield, and I think overall we'll find the solutions to be okay in that position. But yeah, I do think there's going to be some trial and error of various combinations and some chemistry that has to build. And we're thin defensively, so I think we need some additional center back help. Like I said, if Baumgartner ultimately gets signed, that'll be a step in the right direction there. But yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not like super excited about our squad. How do you feel overall in terms of your confidence level of the team we have going into this campaign?
It's interesting. I think my take is similar to what everybody else's take, especially from watching them this preseason. I think in the attack, we're okay. We can score goals, I think, this year. And the midfield, with some of the additions we've had, I think we're fairly solid. How solid compared to last year, we'll see. I mean, I think Kral and Kraus were fantastic for us last year, and so it's going to be big shoes to fill for anybody, in particular Schalberg. But defense is our weakest point. Goalkeeper is no opinion on it just yet. I mean, we thought Schwoloff was going to be a great signing until he started playing. So we don't know yet. I mean, I think Marius Muller's looked okay so far, and obviously Fairman, I have no worries about him. But it's that back four, in particular, the back two. We saw against Twente as a recent example is like the first 15 minutes of the game, we looked terrible. Yes, Grimo got injured 7 minutes in, but I mean, we look terrible. We look pretty much all throughout the game like balls over the top. It's a direct play, as we've been talking for the last 2-3 years, has been killing us. Um, but I think I noticed a substantial improvement once Ibrahim Cisse joined the fray with Kaminsky. I think Kaminsky, he maybe not getting as much love as others in their starting 11, but I think Kaminsky should be a starting center back on this team. He played decently 2 years ago for us in the center back position, but his passing ability is what really kind of separated him from everybody else. And we need that at times when we get the pressure and got to unlock that, the press. So I want to see Kaminsky back there, and then
Yeah, and it's not even when he's like trying to unlock the press when he's sitting deep. There's times where we get possession for like a little bit of a sustained period around the final third,
And they
and he
leave it
kind of
alone.
comes up to like the corner of the box, and
Yeah,
he'll be connecting on like 1-2s and stuff, and playing some nice passes. So yeah, he's
yeah.
he's definitely important in that role. I agree.
I wouldn't mind seeing Cisse to begin, just because he's a big body. Seems to read the game fairly well. I don't want to put Matriciani in position that is not his natural position, which is right back, or even left back. Um, and I know Matriciani is a fan favorite, but I always want to see Cisse give him a chance to see what he can do. He's got a good pace too. We saw that in the Twente game where someone beat him behind. He caught up and blocked the shot before it even got to the keeper. So that's. I mean, I thought they looked better as a pairing than I've seen. Fairly all summer. Thomas Oyan has to be left back, and I think Bruner, I agree with you, should be a right back. Um, we'll see what the midfield how it shapes up. Uh, I'm with you though, because I think the weird thing is, going to the season, I would peg Kozuki and maybe Lasme on the wings with Toyota up top. Um, and if you have Drexler or someone else in there in the middle, depending on position you play. But what we've seen a lot this summer so far is Tobias Mohr on the left, Keenan Karaman on the right. And say what you will, what it looks like on paper is like these two guys aren't really that great. They kind of linked up fairly well. Tobias Mohr seems to be another viable threat on the set pieces and with the crosses. Obviously, Kozuki is going to be a threat on the set pieces this year, as we've seen so far. But Tobias Mohr is finding guys in the middle. He's linking up with the top two guys, Toyota, whoever the striker is, and Karaman. And Karaman's been in the right position this year. I think he's seen like 3 goals this summer so far. Granted, they're friendlies, but I mean, I'm almost willing to give these
But
guys a
and
start.
he may be way more effective in the second division than he was
Yeah,
last season.
yeah,
I'm saying the vast majority of his of especially the earlier parts of his contributions last season were not good.
yeah,
And I guess all I'm saying is this: I think there's a sense of like, oh, well, we got relegated last time when it was much more shocking for us,
yeah,
and there was much and
yeah,
we bounced right back up. So like we're much more kind of prepared to go down this time. We have like a lot of the same players we had last. Like it'll be fine. And I guess the only thing I'm trying to say is like the last time we got relegated, that second division team still had Malik Chow and Itakura
yeah,
as your starting center backs. That's a
yeah,
significant upgrade over any center back pairing that we can field at the moment.
yeah,
You had
yeah.
Bolter and Salazar, and then especially the second half of the season, you had like Cherlinov. And I don't think we have,
Plus a 30 goal scorer on the
yeah,
front
and a
line.
30 goal scoring Tirada, which you may or may not have. Like, look, he may
Yeah,
score 25 goals a season, and I'll be like, why was I worried? But I'm just saying, like, and he's the contract he signed is like partially as like a captain, like locker room guy, coach
yeah,
situation. Like, hey, if I end up not playing well, I'll take a step back from like
yeah,
my activity, like in the starting 11 and stuff, and kind of be like, it's kind of like a try and see kind of thing. So like, look, I said, yeah, he may be fine, and I think in the aggregate maybe we'll be fine. But I'm not as sold in terms of the actual like quality of the squad. I think the depth in some areas is there, but yeah, it remains to be seen. Uh, um, we'll certainly see. I mean, we have like Drexler still, but he's like 33 now. We have Danny Lotz. Like these are guys that can contribute here and there, but
yeah.
um, some of our main contributors, if it's going to be, like Schallenberg or Seguin or whoever, I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get a good look at him kind of early in the season before I really can
Maybe
have a better
Odorago gets
context.
a good run early on, at least, to see what he can do. Yeah,
I
I
do, yeah.
mean,
Like I said, I was impressed by him for sure.
it'll be interesting to see what formation we do. I mean, I agree with Larsade is that, Schallenberg as the sole six might not be the ideal. We've played with the two holding midfielders in the middle for the last several years, for the most part, and I think that would be a good partnership to do. Whether it's Schallenberg and Latza or one of the new men, the new guys that come up there, Seguin or Keppelman. But yeah, I think Drexler in some fashion maybe as the 10 in that formation, or maybe Lasma gets in there, right? Because he's played a little bit of midfield this season too. Maybe he plays in that 10 position as a big body, or gets on the wing and Tobias Mohr comes in the middle. Or I don't know. There's a lot to experiment here. I think Kazuki is ultimately going to be the guy who you're going to have in the attack to be the main spark plug, with maybe Adrago coming to the forefront. But we'll see. I mean, from everything I've seen so far, it seems like Karaman and Tobias Mohr are going to get this initial start. We'll see how they do against Hamburg. Hamburg's not the most easiest game to play. We played them 2 years ago at the opening game, and we lost 3-2 that game, I think. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, not surprised they're going back to like two big clubs in Schalke and Hamburg for
Yeah,
the Friday, taster for the opening match day here.
Yeah. Yeah, at least we have a better coach this time. That's 100% sure. Gramozis or Rice? Let's go Rice. Rice is way better, I think, at this
Or
point.
Christian Gross, Mammal Baum,
Yeah. Or what? Oh god, I'm not gonna. Let's not go
Franky
there.
Kramer.
Kramer. Lots and Drexler would be the other double six options. Yeah. I think Drexler I see more in an advanced position, honestly, than a holding position. But yeah, soul patches. All right. So we'll see what the lineups are, but we are playing this Friday.